because I started questioning, do I even like to read anymore? I don't even know. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I sat down and have done a video for you guys. And not only that, but it's been a minute since I've actually read. I did complete 2 books recently, but before that, I was in the worst book slump. I don't think I read anything in June. What once brought me so much peace and happiness and joy literally just disappeared, and I felt lost. Like, I still feel lost. I'm like, bro, what is going on? I started questioning, do I even like to read anymore? Like, I have about 67 books on my physical TBR. That doesn't include the Twilight series, because I still have 3 or 4 books from that I haven't finished, or the Boys of Tommen series, because I again have 3 or 4 of those that I haven't finished. I'm challenging myself to read what I have on my shelves before I go out and buy another book, especially mid-slump. It just doesn't make sense if I'm not reading. Why am I going out buying more books? So I'm challenging myself, read 3 books and then I can buy 1. So let's see if we can do it. Let's see how long it takes me to read 3 books. So for starters, I think I want to read something light and fluffy, because I don't want to, you know, kind of drag my feet through something that's heavy and then kind of let the slump overtake me, because it's just too much to process, I guess, if that makes sense. So we're going to try to go with a fluffy romance, which is here on my top shelf. So let's go through the options. Also, don't mind my mic. I just found this in my closet because it is so loud. I have people outside mowing the grass, and then I have my air conditioning running. It's just a little bit loud, and so hopefully the sound is better with this. I don't know. But anyway, I have a few options that I can go for here. I started I started Magnolia Parks a good 10 times minimum, and I just don't think this is the book for me. It's just irritating. Okay, I've talked about this book before. I'm not going to get back into it, but I think this is a full DNF for me, so I do need to take this to like a little free library or something. I do have The Last Letter, which I just barely started. I mean, like 5 pages in. So we're not too far into that, but it did seem promising. It seemed like something that I would enjoy, but I know that it is a heavier read. It's not fluffy. It is probably going to make me cry. So I don't know, I'm a little scared, but this is still an option. I also have The 10-Year Affair, which I got from Book of the Month. I started this book as well. You can see how far into it I am. I feel like I'm further along, but maybe not. But I just don't like the characters, and I just couldn't finish. I mean, based off the title alone, I knew that I wasn't really going to connect with them, but I like drama. Okay, I like to read about drama. I like to read about mess. It makes it interesting and fun, but I thought it was going to be written in a different way, I guess. So I don't know about this book. The Giver of Stars, I don't think that's a romance. I think that should go on my like literary fiction side. I don't really know. But this is also an option that is about like women's friendship. And is it about a book club? It's about a traveling library. I think it's going to be between The Giver of Stars and The Last Letter. I would go with The Last Letter since I already started it, but I'm literally only 5-6 pages into it, so I don't think it really matters that I already started it. I think I actually want to read The Giver of Stars. Do you guys see how indecisive I am? Because I started out saying I want a light, fluffy romance that's easy to get through, and then I go with a more literary, contemporary, whatever kind of fiction this is. It's fine. We're going to go ahead and start it, but I am going to see if I can find it on audiobook, on Libby or Hoopla or something, because I do want to get some cleaning done while I have this little bit of energy that I have. If you guys don't know, I am pregnant. I am 27 weeks. I'm at that point in pregnancy where I just don't care anymore. Like I just can't be bothered by anything. So throughout this video, you're probably going to see me just wearing loungewear, pajamas. Also, nothing fits me. Okay, I wear my husband's clothes all the time because I literally can't wear any of my clothes. Don't mind my appearance throughout this video. We're going to get into reading because that's what's most important. Reading update. I am on page 126 of The Giver of Stars, and so far I don't really have too many thoughts. I'm eating my, I don't know what this would be called. It's like a milkshake, but it's like soft serve. Anyway, I use my Ninja Creamy, put in chocolate ice cream and M&Ms, and then it mixes it up for me. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, no thoughts really thus far. I will say it does remind me a bit of the book Lightning in a Mason Jar. Not really as far as like the plot goes, but just like kind of the premise, the way the story is being told. I am enjoying it for what it is thus far. I'm going to sit here. I'm so out of breath. I'm going to sit here and read at least another hour. It's only 7:41 right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and chill. I just took a shower. I'm feeling refreshed. I've got my ice cream. I told my kids to let me have some quiet time, please. And yeah, so I'll update you guys probably tomorrow. Currently hiding from my kids right now. I'm so tired today. I don't know what is going on. Actually, I do know I didn't get much sleep. I got 5 hours of sleep last night. I'm gonna get some reading done. Okay, let me figure out what page I'm on. Okay, clearly I'm in my homeschool room because, like I said, I'm hiding from my kids. Okay, I'm on page 289, which I only have this much left. I think I'm making great progress. I've been tandem reading it, so obviously I do the audiobook while reading the physical copy, and that's helping me get through it a lot faster. I should surely finish this book today. I already started. Last night I was actually reading in bed because I couldn't fall. I just told y'all how I only got 5 hours of sleep. I ended up waking up at, what was it, like 5:20 or something this morning, and couldn't go back to sleep, so I started reading on my Kindle, and I don't have this book on my Kindle, The Giver of Stars, so I picked another book that's on my shelf. Well, I thought it was on my shelf. Okay, so apparently I started reading a book that I don't have. Whoops. The book is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I could have sworn I had that book. Okay, I don't have the book. Whoops. That's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Anyway, let's just finish The Giver of Stars. I'll update you guys on my thoughts on the book and my rating on it after I'm done reading, and then we can move on to pick our next book. I am like itching to buy a new book because, I don't know, I just woke up not in a great mood. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. Like, the past 2 days, all I did was clean. And then today, I feel like I need to work, but I don't want to work. I just want to sit and chill and sleep. But I can't do that because I have kids. Y'all know. Y'all know how it goes. Womp womp, pity party, whatever. Let's read. I have my strawberry banana smoothie here that I made, though, because quick and easy breakfast. I didn't have to put too much thought in it. It's healthy, and I didn't have to go to Smoothie King and pay $9. So it's a win all around. All right, I just finished The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. This is such a sweet and beautiful book. I really did enjoy it. I don't understand some of the characters. Like, you're really just following along the characters' friendship, heartbreak, the characters becoming their best self or most happy and authentic self. And sorry, my kids are so loud. And I just really enjoyed all the character development in this book. It was such a sweet book. I don't think it was quite 5 stars. It didn't leave me with that 5-star feeling, but also at the same time 4 stars feels too low. So I'm just gonna go 4.5 stars for The Giver of Stars. It needs to go up here on the shelf, so we're gonna figure out. I actually need to get more shelves, which is exciting because that means like I'm doing my job. I'm reading the book. So the book I started on my Kindle doesn't count towards this because we're trying to read my TBR, my physical TBR. So hello, sir. I think I want to read The Measure. I forgot all about this book, but I reread the synopsis. Hi, cat boy. I reread the synopsis, book description, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh, wait, I remember why I got this book because it just sounds really good. I don't know how the reviews are. I don't know if people actually enjoy this book or not, but it sounds really good. It's basically about, like, imagine waking up and there's a box at your front door and it basically tells you how many more years you have left to live. I guess it's about what people do at that time when they know how much time they have left, if they're trying to rectify any mistakes. I don't know, you know, things like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this book. I'm not even gonna look up the reviews on Goodreads because I usually do that just to see if other people like it and if it has like at least a 4-star or above rating. But I don't want it to deter me from reading this book or like sway my opinions and thoughts. I'm just gonna read it, start it, and see how I feel about the book because reading is subjective and it doesn't matter what other people thought of it. We're just gonna read it and see if we like it. I also need to go make some lunch because I'm starving and my stomach is growling right now. Also, coming back to add real quick, I just realized I finished that book in 24 hours. Books on poo. Books on poo. I am so proud of myself right now. I feel like I should just go buy a book based off of that. Like, I just finished a book in 24 hours. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, let me go eat. Okay guys, quick update. I'm on page 74 right now, which I thought I was further along, but I guess not. And no thoughts on the book so far. I am just kind of still getting to know all the characters. I feel like they keep adding more and more characters. I thought it was just going to be about 2 people, and from like their POV, and then they added another, and then they added another, and now they're adding another. They just added another. So I'm just like, how many are we gonna add? Because like that just means it's more for me to have to keep up with and remember who's who, which I find tends to take me out of the story sometimes. Like whenever I read oh, what's that book called? Hang on, I got it. Station 11. It's like when I read Station 11, because of, it was just so much to keep up with in that book. I don't even think that book had as many like POVs and characters as it, well, it had a lot of characters, but I don't know if it had as many POVs necessarily. I can't remember. But that one was like over a dual timeline and also multiple characters. So that one was hard to follow along, and I feel like that took me out of the story a little bit. I probably would have liked this story a lot better if it weren't for that. So I feel like that is going to be an issue with this book as well. I might need to like maybe take notes or something, I don't know, just to make it easier on me. Yeah, so far it just has me really thinking, like, what the heck would I do if a box showed up at my door that told me how long I had to live? Like it was just like a string of my life, and like what I want. I feel like for a while, like I would tell myself I don't want to know, like I'm not gonna check, but I also feel like curiosity kills the cat, right? Like curiosity is gonna get the best of me, and I'm just gonna open it. And once you open it, you can't take that back. Like you can't turn back after you know information like that. That's such a scary thing to know and never be able to like forget. And it also has me wondering if the things that happen, and I'm trying to figure out how I can say anything without spoilers, which really, is it a spoiler when I'm only like 75 pages in? It's not like a huge plot point, I'm pretty sure, but it does make me wonder, are the strings more of like a placebo type of effect and causing people to, you know, shorten their own life because they're panicking about it being short? Like there was this one guy, again, I don't think this is a spoiler because it literally happens within the first like 60 pages and it's not anything major, but if you don't want to know, I would skip. There is a guy who shows up at the hospital and he's like, can y'all help me? Like I'm dying, like my string says I'm dying. And they're like, sorry sir, we have to help people who have actual symptoms, like who are actually, you know, going through something physical, instead of just like, oh hey, my string says I'm gonna die. And he got upset about that and ended up shooting up the hospital, and then he was, you know, taken by the police, and so that makes me wonder, like, if he didn't panic because of what his string said, would he have been alive? Or is this like a Final Destination thing where it's like one way or another it was going to come for you, like maybe a car wreck or a freak accident or whatever? I don't know. It just has me wondering, like, what, like, first of all, where'd these strings come from? Okay, like who put these on everybody's porches in the middle of the night? Would I want to know that information? Honestly, no, because I know that I have really bad anxiety and I would not be able to live my best life knowing, like I would just be counting down the days and that would just freak me out. But also, would I be able to resist looking? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. Anyway, that's just something to think about. Not really, hopefully it's nothing to think about, because I hope we would never have to, you know, be in that predicament. But I'm just saying, the book makes you, you know, think, if you were in that situation, what would you do? All right, I am done folding these. I'm going to put these away and continue reading. I don't think I'm going to finish this in 24 hours like I did the other book, because I don't know, this one isn't as intriguing to me, at least not yet, but I'm still hopeful. It's not a DNF, so we'll see. Not me realizing it literally says 8 people right here. Anyway, I'm going to do the audiobook while they're supposed to be going to sleep. I don't even know. I'm going to do the audiobook while I play Mario Kart, mostly because my son asked me to unlock gold in Mario for him, and it's like so frustrating trying to unlock it because you have to play on 200cc. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Y'all don't care. My son wants me to unlock gold in Mario for him, so we're going to grind Mario Kart while we do this audiobook. Okay, it is the next day. I owe you guys a reading update. So The Measure, I did end up finishing this earlier today, and my thoughts on the book overall, I gave it like a 3.25 star. I didn't hate it. That's not a terrible rating for me. That's just average. Like, it's right in the middle. It's just average. Because I don't know, the premise of it was so intriguing to me. Like, the idea of the strings and having the opportunity to find out how long your life will be was just so fascinating to me. And I was just like, I want to know what these people do with that information, how they live their life, if they're going to make any different decisions and allow it to control them, and just all the things, you know. Like, I feel like this raises so many questions, which it would be such a good book for a book club, because the discussion in this would be so fun. I even brought it up to my husband because he's like the only person I could talk to about it, and I was like, what would you do if, you know, you got a string at your door? Like, if this book was real. I explained it to him and everything, and he said he would like probably look at the string, but I don't think he fully understood the depth of like what could happen if you look at your string, because it's not just like, okay, yeah, it says I'm gonna die when I'm 82. Like, no, it's like you could potentially have a short string, and then the people in the book are panicking because of their short strings, and their panic sometimes causes their death. Like, it's just crazy. And I'm just like, so if they didn't look at their string, they wouldn't have panicked, and maybe, like, who knows what could have happened if they didn't look. I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me, and I feel like this book could have been so good. But I think for me, if it was written in maybe like a first person POV, I don't know if the POV, yeah, I feel like maybe first person would be best, but I think the main thing is it was just too many POVs. It was written in third person, and it was just from like 8 different POVs, and it just kind of got overwhelming to keep up with the stories. I will say at the end of it, all their stories kind of tied together in some way, which I thought was beautiful. It ended up being a beautiful and good and heartbreaking story overall. So that's not why I gave it the rating I did. I gave it the rating because I just feel like it could have been written better. The prose in this, it just wasn't really what I was expecting. I think I was kind of expecting more of a I Who Have Never Known Men vibes, and I know I shouldn't do that. I should really just go into these books with no expectations, because I don't want to get my hopes let down like I did. So yeah, I don't know. I was kind of just expecting it to be more like from a person's point of view of like how this is really affecting them, and like getting really deep into like their character and humanity, and I don't even know exactly what I was looking for in this book, but I just thought it was going to be a little bit deeper in writing and whatnot. Like, I thought it was going to give more like literary fiction vibes. Yeah, we're just going to set it here for now. I really need another bookshelf, which is crazy. That irritates me when people do that, because like we're in a neighborhood, middle of a neighborhood where there's kids. Like, anyway, I don't know. I think I want to sit on it. I don't think I'm going to pick a book yet. Once I'm ready to pick a book, I will come back and let you guys know what I chose. Okay guys, I'm going to have my husband pick my next read. Whatever you pick, I'm just going to read it. Like, anything you pick, I'm just going to read. Whatever.
Anything?
Whatever.
Anything.
Well,
there's 2 that are grabbing my attention.
Oh my gosh, okay.
This.
I'm nervous. Oh, why would you pick the biggest book?
And this.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to pick this since I watched the movie.
Okay. I'm fine with that one. Crazy Rich Asians is my next read. I'm gonna go start it right now. Change of plans. I convinced my husband to let me read.
Okay.
To let me read Project Hail Mary. One, because I didn't know Crazy Rich Asians was over 500 pages. And I was like, if I'm gonna read over 500 pages, I need an audiobook. No, stop. I need an audiobook to help me get through it. And he already has the audiobook of Project Hail Mary because he already listened to it on Audible months ago. And I've been meaning to read it because y'all know the movie came out. So I've been meaning to read it, but it's I feel like it's so daunting and intimidating because of how big it is. Huh?
It might be hard to follow though.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Like, it's very mixed reviews. Like, some people like it if you're into like heavy into sci-fi, but if you're not, then it's like,
yeah, because I'm gonna just give you like the first beginning of it. Like, so he wakes up from a coma,
yeah,
and basically he's going back and forth between trying to memorize things. So he'll do something, and then he'll.
Is it repetitive?
Not repetitive, but it's like, I feel like the first few chapters, he's like going back and forth, and like it doesn't really, like at least in the audio book, it doesn't really tell you when he's having a memory. You kind of just it'll just go like right into the memory, and then he goes back into like whatever he's doing.
Yeah. I made it to chapter 5 last night, which is page 74. First, I will acknowledge my cons, I guess. The writing is definitely a bit, I did this, and then I did this. The writing style is not great. The prose is not the most beautiful, eloquent, you know, language. It's not written from like a literary fiction perspective. You're literally just in his head as he's literally narrating everything he's doing. Like, it really feels like you're in the moment with him. I tabbed a page to read out to you guys because I had an example of how it goes, like how he writes. This is still in chapter 1, so this is not a spoiler or anything. It's from when he first woke up, but he's trying to reorient himself. He's kind of disoriented and confused. He doesn't know his own name. He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know literally anything about himself, but he still has thoughts and memories, and he still knows English language, and he knows facts and things like that, but he just doesn't understand how he knows it, if that makes sense. So he realizes that there's a 10-foot ladder, and he's like, oh, I used feet, that's imperial units, so maybe I'm American, or at least English or Canadian. So then he's like going through all the different type of measurements of like how far LA is from New York, and he went with miles instead of kilometers. So he's like, yeah, I'm definitely English or American, or I'm from Liberia. I know Liberia uses imperial units, but I don't know my own name. That's irritating. I take a deep breath. So it's like you're literally just in his head, and he's just going through trying to figure this out. And then there's another part on the same page where it says, you know what, this is fine. I'm really tired at this point, and lying down kind of works for me. The gentle rocking of the bed is comforting. Something bugs me about how I fell off the ladder. I replay it in my head. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just a wrongness to it. I drift off. So the writing is very like elementary, very basic, not hard to follow, which I don't really mind. I kind of like that. I feel like I'm in his head and I'm in the moment with him. Like, especially since it's now a movie, I feel like I can really like see how it will play off on screen already. I will also say his personality is hilarious to me. Like, he is in such a high stakes, dangerous, anxiety inducing situation, and he's just making jokes and like just being goofy. I'm just like, sir, the way I would be panicking, I just found 2 dead bodies. Okay, the way I would just like, get me out of this ship or whatever I'm in. Anyway, I'm enjoying his personality. I think it's definitely making such a heavy situation a lot more lighthearted. Another thing that I can see why people don't like this book is that it is very heavy in the science, math, physics talk. Like, he's constantly doing equations, constantly talking about mitochondria and astrophage and centrifuge and just all types of scientific talk that could definitely pull you out of the book if you're not into that. I wouldn't say I'm fully into that. I definitely don't like physics, but I do like science and math because I went to school for it. But still, a lot of the stuff he's saying, I'm still confused. Like the formulas, when he does the formulas and stuff, I literally just skim over that and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, you came to this calculation, cool, I'm just gonna trust you that it's right. Like, I don't really pay too much attention to the numbers and how he's coming to these conclusions. I'm just taking what he's getting from these numbers and formulas and conclusions, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter how he did the formula and got the numbers. All that matters is what the numbers mean. And I find that this book doesn't ever leave you on like a cliffhanger or leave you questioning what it means. Like, it's never like, I did this and I crunched these numbers and blah blah and oh my gosh, it all makes sense now, and then it just goes on to the next thing. No, it always explains what the numbers mean, what his findings are and whatnot. So I don't really feel lost about it. It is kind of annoying having to read about so many numbers and so many equations and whatnot, but it's really not like the worst thing ever for me. Now, again, I'm only on page like 75, so will I get tired of it? Maybe, perhaps, but I'm just gonna follow along and see. So far, I'm actually really loving the book. Like, I am so enthralled by this journey of how he's gonna save this world, basically. I didn't even want to put the book down last night, but my eyes were literally like heavy. Okay, I was fighting my sleep So I had to stop. But even though I just gave y'all a list of like 3 or 4 cons to the book, I'm still enjoying it. So currently on page 366, there are 476 pages in this book. So I have exactly 110 pages to go. I am determined to finish this book today. We do have to go to the, what's it called? Like early screening, whatever it's called, advanced, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go watch Spider-Man tonight, and we have to leave here around like 6:15, something like that. So I have about 2 hours to get through 110 pages. Old me could do that. New me struggles with reading fast. Let's not waste any more time. Let's continue reading. Okay, I owe you guys a huge reading update. I officially finished Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and we're gonna get into my thoughts before I wrap up this video. I'm using this mic because my kids are on 10 right now. They are so loud. I don't know if you can hear them yelling or not. I don't know how good this mic is, but they are so loud. Anyway, let's get into the book. I feel like I gave you guys, most of my thoughts already on how I feel about the book. So I'm going to try not to repeat what I've already said, because pretty much everything I said before still stands true. I will say that I think I said before that the physics and the equations and the math and all the heavy scientific elements of the book didn't really bother me, because I kind of was just able to like skim over it and just, you know, take whatever was important from it. Like if he was doing a scientific equation to figure out how much hydrophage he needs and this and this and that, I didn't really pay attention to the numbers and the equations and all this stuff. I just paid attention to him saying, okay, this is what I need. This is how we're going to fix the issue. Let's get it started. But I will say, as the book goes on, it comes up more and more and more. Like, it's super heavy with physics talk and astrology and science and numbers, and it does kind of get annoying to have to read through it. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, I feel like I'm in school. I feel like I'm reading a textbook. So that did pull me out just a little bit, by like 0.5 stars. Like not too crazy, but I will give you a heads up in case you are thinking about reading it. If you know that something like that is going to pull you out of the book and just be boring to you, I wouldn't read it. But that was like the main thing. I was still very engrossed in the story and wanting to know how it all was going to end. I loved the characters in the book. I don't want to give any spoilers in this. I don't want to say too much, but the ending of the book was just so, it just made me so happy. Like, I can't wait to watch the movie and see how it all like plays out on the screen. This book is definitely written for people who like sci-fi, who like numbers, who like all those things. But if you can kind of put that aside and just focus on the story behind that, then it's a great book. You have to have such a huge imagination to write a book like this, not just to describe the environment and the scenery and everything that goes into being in outer space and whatnot, but also to come up with all of these scenarios and crises and just everything that was going on in this book. I was like, you know how much of an imagination you have to come up with things that hasn't happened, that maybe physically impossible, we don't really know, like, you know, like, it's just crazy. So it was really entertaining to me. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I am actually very proud of myself that I actually finished 3 books, and they weren't terrible books. Like, I enjoyed them all for different reasons. The Giver of Stars is probably my favorite book out of this video for sure, but I'm happy that we were able to take 3 books off of my physical TBR and get them moved over to my red shelf. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched up until this point, I love you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.